Hello friends, thank you so much for stopping by, or welcome if you're new here. Okay, so as I was going through my bookshelves, I noticed that I have a bit of a backlog of books that I have gotten from either book boxes or subscriptions that I haven't read for whatever reason. And so I've taken them all off of my shelves. I think I have 17. I think I have 17 books here to talk to you about today. And they are from Book of the Month, Allurial, and Aardvark. Now, I no longer have active subscriptions with Book of the Month, Allurial, but I do have a subscription still with Aardvark. We're just gonna kind of dive right into these books. I don't remember what a lot of these books are about anymore, so we're gonna be relearning about them together, and hopefully you can find some reads on here that sound interesting to you. The first book I want to talk about is Lost Lambs by Madeline Cash, and this is from Book of the Month. I do not know what this book is about at all. I'm pretty sure it's general fiction or literary fiction, but so many people were talking about this book and it had me so intrigued. And this is for their January 2026 box. The Flynn family is coming undone. Catherine and Bud's open marriage has reached its breaking point as their daughters spiral in their own chaotic orbits. Abigail, the eldest, is dating a man in his 20s nicknamed War Crime Wes. Louise, the middle child, maintains a secret correspondence with an online terrorist. The brilliant youngest Harper is being sent to Wilderness Reform Camp due to her insistence that someone or something is monitoring the town's citizens. Okay. Interesting. I do think I'm going to keep this. Oh, if I didn't even mention, but as I'm reading these, I'm kind of going to be deciding if I'm going to keep them or if these are going to be books that I am going to pass along, whether through donating it to like an indie bookstore or dropping it off in a little free library, or maybe even selling on my Pingo. But this one still sounds pretty interesting to me, so I think I'm going to keep this one. Now, I should say there's a very high possibility that I'm not getting rid of any of these books and they're just gonna go back on my shelf, so please be prepared for that. The next book from Book of the Month is The Ghostwriter by Julie Clark, and this is from their June 2025 box. So this has been on my shelf for quite a while. This is really all the way from 2025. That's embarrassing. I really should have read this by now. June 1975. The Taylor family shatters in a single night when two teenage siblings are found dead in their own home. The only surviving sibling, Vincent, never shakes the whispers and accusations that he was the one who killed them. Decades later, the legend only grows as his career as a horror writer skyrockets. Ghostwriter Olivia has spent her entire professional life hiding the fact that she's the only child of Vincent Taylor. She's offered a job to ghostwrite her father's last book. What she doesn't know is that this project is another one of his lies. After 50 years of silence, Vincent Taylor is finally ready to talk about what really happened that night in 1975. I'll keep this one for now, but I may not get around to this just because honestly, I feel like I don't read a lot of thrillers, and I already have a decent amount on my shelf. I probably have 4. It's not a lot, but I have enough on my shelf to like get me through for the next year. I really don't read a lot of thrillers. So maybe. The next book is also one from Book of the Month that everyone and their mother and their sister and their cousin and their brother and their uncle has been talking about. Everyone's been talking about this book, and this is Yesteryear by 𝐒𝐂𝐄 Burke, or Caro. It may be Caro. I'm not sure. Yeah, you've probably heard of this book. Everyone has been talking about it. It's a take on like the trad wife kind of thing that has been going around. This came out with Book of the Month April 2026, so it hasn't been on my shelf too long. Natalie Heller Mills is a traditional American woman, a beautiful wife and mother who sells her pioneer lifestyle of raw milk and farm fresh eggs to her millions of social media followers. Someone's calling me.
I'm driving home right now, but I was thinking about stopping by Trader Joe's and wanted to know if you wanted me to pick up any types of groceries for you.
Ooh,
sorry, I just didn't want to text while driving because it's dangerous.
That is true. We do not text while driving. All right.
I'll let you get back to filming.
Okay, sounds good. I love you, honey. Okay, bye. He's so sweet. Anyways, okay, back to this trad wife book. Her farmhouse is charmingly rustic. Her husband is a handsome cowboy. She has 6 kids. What if there are nannies and producers behind the scenes? Her kitchen is hiding industrial grade fridges. What Natalie's followers don't know won't hurt them. One morning she wakes up in a life that isn't hers. Her home, her husband, her children, they're all familiar but wrong. Just yesterday, Natalie was curating photos of homemade jam for her Instagram, and now she's expected to haul firewood and hand wash clothes until her fingers bleed. I have heard with this book that our main character, so our narrator, very unlikable, and it's meant to be that way. We're meant to not like her, and she's meant to be kind of just a very frustrating point of view to be in and a bit insufferable. So I have to be honest, I don't know if I'm really interested in reading this anymore. I just feel like I've heard so much about it that I kind of already know what it's about. To be honest, this just isn't really calling to me anymore, so I think I am going to pass this one along. The last book that I have to talk about for Book of the Month specifically was also their April 2026 book, so I did pick 2 for this month, and this is 𝐒𝐂𝐂𝐑𝐈𝐁𝐄 by Monica Kim, and I was so excited to pick this up. This is one that I'm definitely going to be keeping. The cover of this is also super cool. 𝐒𝐂𝐂𝐑𝐈𝐁𝐄 is an abbreviation meaning sneaky camera, hidden to capture covert images and videos for voyeurs. Okay, so this takes place. We are following a IT technician as he sees every entrance, every lobby, every bathroom in this building. It says the woman in that building may be cold and dismissive, but he can always pull up his favorite images of them and remember who holds the real power. Disgusting. Until one day, someone sets themselves apart from the rest. We're following another character, and it says she's the ever-romantic, yearns to be cherished after years of living in the shadow of her perfect older sister who tragically drowned years ago. Looks like she has a boyfriend that she would do anything to hold on to the happiness that her boyfriend brings her, but when a hidden camera scandal rocks the city's elites, her dreams of a fairy tale romance twist into a grotesque nightmare, her boyfriend abandons her, her parents reject her, and our IT technician's interest in our female main character turns to obsession. This is a pretty short book too. This is under 300 pages. It's like 250 pages, so it's pretty, this will probably be a really quick read. And we are kind of approaching fall season. I don't know why this is giving me winter vibes. So I'm going to be keeping this one on my shelf. I'm excited to dive into this one. And I hope we have a really, really good revenge plot with this one. I hope it gets dark and we get some really good revenge on here. All right, now we're going to be moving on to Aardvark. This is the subscription that I still have active. Every time I see the monthly drops that they put out, there are multiple books that call to me. There are books that have been on my anticipated reading list, and I love that I can get them through Aardvark. So the first one, which is probably my favorite book out of any book that I'm talking about today, is The Unicorn Hunters by Katherine Arden, and I have so much love for this author. It's called the Winter Night Trilogy. I can't remember if that's the title for it, for the series. I read this series so long ago, but it has stuck with me and really dug its nails into me. It is such a beautifully written, fantastical series. And so when I found out that she was publishing another book, I had to pick it up, especially considering how stunning this cover is. Also with Aardvark, what I love, they have these cute little bookmarks that come with each one, and they're in the shape of an aardvark, apparently. Yeah, you can see, right? You can tell. Can you? How cute! In a desperate gamble to save her throne, a young monarch arranges a secret marriage, conceals it in the shadows of an enchanted forest, and unknowingly alters the fate of her world in this dazzling novel from the best-selling author of The Bear and the Nightingale. Oh, such a beautiful series. That's all I'm going to read about this one. It's fantastical. It's got kind of like a historical feel to it. And this takes place, it looks like, in France. There's a long-lost fairy queen. I'm assuming there's unicorns in it. I'm not sure, but I'm so excited. Definitely keeping this one. The next book from Aardvark is Lost and Found by Tara DeWitt. I didn't realize this was from Tara DeWitt. Have I read a book by this author before? Oh, and it's signed. It is signed. And really quickly, appreciation for the cover. I think this is so pretty. Left of Forever. Did I read that one? I don't know if I've read that one, but I have heard a lot of really great things about this author. Bea always wanted to be a mom, but she never expected she'd have to lose her best friend to do it. Armed with nothing but her best friend's eggs and a bucket list to complete, Bea's world is a sea of changes. When she needs a place to stay, her longtime friend Silas steps in to help. A firefighter grappling with the aftermath of an accident, Silas has his own challenges to work through that have left him cautious and vulnerable. At first they expect nothing, but as these two former sunshines knit together in a love that has been unfulfilled until now, a new beginning comes out of the ashes of the past, one that will lead to a love that can withstand all the slings and arrows, joys and triumphs that life can throw. This is probably going to be really cute and really sweet, and it's going to pull at some heartstrings, I bet. Honestly, this is like a perfect summer read, and we're still, at least in Arizona, it still feels like summer, and it basically is still summer for like another month, month and a half, 2 months maybe. So I have time to read this. The next book from Aardvark is 5 by Ilona Bannister. This is a very short book, and I haven't read anything by this author before, but the premise of this sounds very, very intriguing, and it's like 215 pages. This could be a very, very fast read. This introduces you to 5 seemingly random people waiting for a train, but these are not just any 5 people. From the beginning, we know that one of them is going to die soon, very soon, within 5 minutes. The next train to London will arrive, killing one of them, but before this happens, you're going to learn their stories. You might fall in love with the beautiful young man. You might pity the old woman. You may look away from the child throwing a tantrum or judge his mother, and some will be curiously compelled by the successful and damaged businessmen orbiting them all. These are the candidates for this morning's misfortune, but they don't know it, only you do. Okay, I'm really excited for this one, actually. I'm keeping this. The next book from Aardvark, again, that I'm so excited for. I can't believe I haven't read this yet. This is Japanese Gothic by Kylie Lee Baker. The cover is so beautiful. I have really enjoyed this author's books. I think I've maybe only read one. This is her second book. The first book, which I believe is her debut, is Bat Eater and Other Names for 𝐒𝐂𝐁𝐄, and that book blew me away. So I knew that I wanted to pick up another book by this author. So we do have 2 different timelines in this book, one taking place in 2026 and one taking place in 1877. So in 2026, we're following Lee Turner, and he does not remember how or why he killed his college roommate. The details are blurred and bloody. All he knows is he has to flee New York and go to Japan, where there's a house hidden by sword ferns and wild ginger, but something is terribly wrong with the house. No animals will come near it, the bedroom window isn't always a window, and a woman with a sword appears in the yard when night falls. Now, in 1877, Sen is a young samurai in exile, hiding from the imperial soldiers in a house behind the sword ferns. A monster came home from war wearing her father's face, but Sen would do anything to please him, even turn her sword on her own mother. She knows the soldiers will soon slaughter her whole family when she sees a terrible omen, a young foreign man who appears outside her window. One of these people is a ghost, and one of these stories is a lie. I got goosebumps just reading that little snippet. This sounds incredible. I need to read this immediately, but this really feels like an October read, so I may save this for like an October readathon or a October reading vlog or something like that, because this I feel like will fit perfectly. The last Aardvark book is Dead But Dreaming of Electric Sheep by Paul Tremblay, and the cover for this is just so fun. I love the colors. We've got a little bunny here in the eye. Looking at the cover, I feel like it's going to be something related with AI. I don't know why, I feel that that's what it's about. Meet Julia Flang, a 20-something former semi-professional gamer living with her retired uncle and working 2 jobs she doesn't like. Out of the blue, her estranged mother offers her a temp job with a payday she can't refuse. One interview later, she's offered the job to chaperone a man in a vegetative state, one with AI, I was right, with AI implanted in his head from California to the East Coast. Meet a middle-aged man who wakes with a disorienting hellscape filled with monstrous grotesqueries. Okay. Worse than the fluid, morphing reality in which he's trapped, he has no memory of who he is. He certainly doesn't remember getting the rabbit tattoo on his arm. He only knows that he must find a certain person, but who, he can't remember. This sounds bizarre. I have to be honest, after reading that, my excitement for this has dwindled a little bit. I don't know if I'm interested in this one. If you've read this book, please let me know in the comments below if this is a book worth reading or if it's something that I should maybe pass on. And now I have to answer my phone. All right, so on to our next selection of books. We are going to be talking about the books that I got from Allurial. I go back and forth with this book box because all of the books are absolutely stunning. They all have beautiful sprayed edges. The quality of these hardcovers are really, really nice. The binding isn't super tight on them, kind of similar to Fairy Loot, where sometimes you're afraid to like open the book because it just feels so tight.
That's what she said.
This one feels a little flexible. So this one, I do like the quality of these books a lot. Now, the reason why I canceled my subscription with Allurial was because I found that a lot of these books, I could read them on Kindle Unlimited. And since I have a Kindle Unlimited subscription, I didn't feel that it was necessary to also have a subscription to Allurial when I knew that that was like the book that I wanted to pick for that month was one that I could just get on my Kindle. So I'm hoping they'll kind of update their selections a little bit more. Allurial is fantasy romantasy based. So you're not going to see general fiction. You're not going to see like literary fic or even horror unless it's like fantasy horror. This is specifically fantasy and romantasy. First one I'm going to be talking about is Half City by Kate Golden. I have heard so many wonderful things about this book, and the sprayed edges are so pretty. They do an absolutely wonderful job with these books. They also come with bookmarks that match the book that you have selected. Here are the end pages. Viv is an average 21-year-old girl. She lives in an expensive city where the rent is too high, works long hours at a thankless job, and is dating a guy she doesn't even like. She also happens to be a demon hunter. Ever since her father's murder, she's been forced to hunt deviants alone, meaning everyone, including her family, sees her as an outsider, until the day she crosses paths with a dangerously alluring demon, Reed. The reformed deviant tells her of a school for people just like her, and if she enrolls, she'll learn how to hone her craft, work with other hunters, and never be alone again. But Viv has a deadly secret, one that not even her new friends at Harker can know about. Viv will have to figure out who she can trust, all while trying to ace her classes, avoid falling for a demon, and make it through her first year at Harker in one piece. This just sounds fun. This sounds like a really just fun, supernatural, urban fantasy setting, which I have been craving lately. So I am so excited to get into this one finally. The next book is The Book of Blood and Roses by Annie Summer Lee. Again, so stunning. Sprayed edges, so pretty. And I still have the bookmark that matches the cover. The end pages on this book are so pretty. I think this is like a vampire book. In the midst of the Scottish Highlands, I love a Scottish setting. Okay, I'm definitely into this. In the midst of the Scottish Highlands, in a university where vampires study alongside humans, vampires. Becca is a vampire hunter undercover at the university, searching for the mysterious Book of Blood and Roses, a lost compendium of ways to kill vampires. If she finds it, she'll be one step closer to avenging her parents who were slain by those creatures of the night. When she arrives, she finds something unexpected, a coffin. Her new roommate is Elise Astra, scion of one of the most powerful vampire families and the most beautiful woman Rebecca has ever met. Is this sapphic? The maddeningly, oh my god, how do you say that word? Maddeningly, guys, this is a really hard word to say. The gorgeous Elise is everything that Rebecca has always hated, but also everything she's ever wanted, and now Rebecca doesn't know if she wants to kiss or kill her. I did not know this was sapphic. Okay, we are bumping this up the list. I'm very excited for this one. The next book is The Sacred Space Between by Callie Reed. And this, I know I keep saying this, guys, but Allurial really kills it with their covers. They're so stunning. Did I show you the sprayed edges? It's kind of like a, what is this? Like a glass window pane. Excuse me. Oh my god, you guys. Stunning. Beautiful. See, this makes me want to like reactivate my subscription just because of how beautiful these books are. The Abbey has controlled the minds of its patrons for a millennium through memory magic stolen from exiled saints. At 15, Jude was exiled to the bleak moors in the countryside so that the Abbey could maintain control over his magic. Almost a decade later, he wants to live a normal life free from its oppressive gaze. The Abbey sends Maeve, a stubbornly devout iconographer, to paint an updated icon of him. Jude makes it his mission to get rid of her as soon as possible until he discovers she holds the same tainted magic of the saints as he does. Jude and Maeve draw closer. The two of them face a choice. They can take on the full power of the Abbey and risk their lives, or escape back to exile. I have to be honest, I don't think I was interested about keeping this one. If you have read this book, please let me know if it was worth reading and I'll keep it. If not, I'm probably going to be selling this one on my Pango. The next book is Bloodbound by Ellis Hunter, another book that I am so excited for. The cover is stunning, and just wait until you see the back. Look how cute. Can you see? It says, "You duel or you die." Stunning. Gorgeous. Beautiful. I don't remember what this is about. I just remember a lot of people talking about this book, and I think this one is on Kindle Unlimited as well. Astrid has always known she's destined to die. She's the last witch and heir to a queendom, cursed by a centuries-old covenant to duel the heir to the kingdom of Vatra for the source of all magic, the heart. Now her time is up. She's heading into enemy territory to face the prince, who's the most powerful dragon rider in eons, with only her familiar, her potions, and her wits to aid her. She's going to die, and any chance her queendom, why is it hard to say, her queendom has of curing the blight that's ravaging the lands and killing her people will die with her. Meanwhile, deep in Dragon Country, Skylar and her traveling troupe arrive in Vatra's capital. As the duel looms over the kingdom, Skylar's and Astrid's fates intertwine. They must battle a growing rebellion, their inner demons, and ultimately those they love most, to determine if together they will save or doom their world. Another one that I think I'm not as interested in as much as I thought I was. I may be selling this on my Pango. If it is worth reading, please let me know. The next book is, oh my god, the most beautiful cover, I think, in this entire selection. And this is As Many Souls as Stars by Natasha Siegel. Is this not the most stunning cover? It has holographic details on it. It's just so pretty, and it's a pretty short book. Is that not the most stunning thing you've ever seen? 1592, Sybil Harding is a first daughter, cursed to bring disaster to those around her. She's trapped in a house with a mother paralyzed by grief and a father willing to sacrifice everything in pursuit of magic. Miriam is a creature of shadow, forged by the dark arts many years ago. She's doomed to exist her eternity and destined to be alone, killing mortals and consuming their souls for sustenance. But everything changes when she meets Sybil. Thus begins a dance across centuries as Miriam seeks Sybil in every lifetime to claim her prize. Only one of them can win, but perhaps they can't survive without another. I definitely want to read this one. This sounds really good, and it's really short. I feel like it's not even 300 pages. It's like 290. So quick read, I have a feeling. 3 more books left. We have Song of the Hell Witch by Taylor Hartley. This is another one that I think is just really pretty. Allurial really knows how to do books right. The font on this one's pretty big though. Once a vicious street rat, Prudence has clawed her way to the top of society and now enjoys newfound power as the Duchess of Talonsbury. All she has to do to protect her fragile position is maintain the act of gentility, make her husband happy, and keep her monstrous magic a secret. When Prudence's magic betrays her, she has no choice but to flee, and who better to smuggle her out of the city than her childhood best friend and former sweetheart, Puck. With the help of old friends and new allies, they learn about Stormlash, a safe haven miles beyond the city walls where women and their magic can flourish beyond the oppressive eye of Leora's religious fanatics. I think I'm gonna like this. The next book is In the Veins of the Drowning Deep by 𝐒𝐂𝐑𝐈𝐁𝐄. I think I've been seeing a lot about this book lately, and I feel like I've seen mostly, I'm trying to like show you guys the book while I'm talking. I feel like I've seen mostly positive reviews of this one, so Imogen is in hiding from a cruel kingdom that believes I remember, this is about sirens. Hiding from a cruel kingdom that believes sirens are monstrous, blood-hungry creatures. Hiding from a king and his captain who viciously hunt her kind. By keeping herself from the sea, Imogen's bloodlust is dulled and her black wings remain concealed beneath her skin. When a neighboring king comes to visit, Imogen can no longer hide. He knows precisely what she is, and he believes she can save their kingdom from an even greater monster. As the lines between duty to their people and desire for each other begin to blur, Imogen worries her ancestral powers may not be enough to kill what haunts her. I don't think I've really read any books about sirens, so I'm very intrigued about this one. Okay, the last book is A Forbidden Alchemy by Stacy McEwan. I feel like I've talked about this book in one of my other videos and I really just botched the name. The sprayed edges on this one are super pretty. We have a pretty map on the inside. Nina and Patrick are only 12 years old when they are whisked from their disenfranchised mining town to dazzling Belivar City. My nose is itchy. Nina's lifelong dream is to become an artisan, a powerful elemental mage who fulfills the city's grand ambitions, while Patrick wants only to reunite with his family. Together, they discover a devastating secret. Artisans are not born, but they are chosen. Patrick returns home while Nina finds her place as one of the rarest, most coveted types of artisan. A revolution soon ignites, and Nina is captured by Patrick's rebel group, and he hasn't forgotten her. In fact, he needs her help for a mission that could shift the tides against the city. She reluctantly agrees to aid him. When Nina's first love reappears, asking her to betray Patrick for the artisan, she faces an impossible choice that will determine the fate of their world. Something else I want to just mention with Allurial, their pages are bright white. Like, I don't know if you can you tell like how bright these are compared to just like a normal book? Their pages are white and crisp. Anyways, that's all. That is all I have for today's video. Those are all of the books that I still have on my TBR that are from book boxes or book subscription services, and I really need to get to these. I think I maybe have like 4 or 5 that I may be unhauling, but the rest are still going to remain on my shelves and I still need to read them. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below what books you are excited to read from this video, or if you have read any books, what you've thought about them. Also, comment down any video ideas below that you would be interested in seeing, and thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!